Ladies and gentlemen, please show some love for Casper Nyovest.
Dumelang, the guy. I'd like to greet firstly Ricky's family, secondly his fans, and everyone who put this together. I was meant to perform, but I don't think I can, so I decided to speak a little bit about Riky. I met Riky over Facebook years ago. How I discovered his music was he had a record on DJ Milkshake's mixtape on Hype magazine. So the song was so good that I couldn't believe it was his beats. So I hit up this guy and just started talking to him, you know, and we became friends over Facebook, and he would send me beats. And the beats were so good that I never was able to record anything on them because I would just end up just listening to them. And then fast forward, we met in Johannesburg, and he played me one of his tapes that he was about to release, and he ended up not releasing it. The reason I'm telling that particular story is because the same way Riky Rick reached out to all the kids, at one point I was also just another kid from Mufftown, and it wasn't really easy to move in Johannesburg, but he still had the time for me, and he did that for hundreds of people after me. I then ended up forming a relationship with him, a friendship where we would not only talk about music, but we would talk about life. And some of the things that I loved about Riky was firstly how honest he was. Riky would tell you the truth that everyone else was scared to tell you, you know? I'll tell like a story that's a bit irrelevant, but like I just wanted to show you how honest he was. So when I bought my first Bentley, I thought I was killing the game. Everyone was like, yo, Casper bought a Bentley, and I meet Riky. He says, Eish, poison, Eish. Hey, this one is not the one. So I'm looking at him angry, like, yo, this guy is jealous of me. He's like, hey, this one is old, poison. It doesn't even have Bluetooth. I poison, we have to get the right one. And because of that conversation, you know, I ended up wanting to get the one, because Riky said it wasn't the one, you know? And that was our relationship. He was able to tell me things that nobody else could tell me. And we formed a brotherhood. I don't want to forget anything. Another thing I loved about Riky was his voice. I loved hearing Riky sing more than him rapping. I loved hearing him sing. I would always encourage him to sing. And one of his last videos that he posted, he was singing Sondela. And it was, for a lot of people, it was surprising to hear Riky sing. But me and him were not on the greatest of terms, even though we were speaking. And one of the things I regret was that I wasn't able to tell him how much I loved that video and how much I loved hearing him sing again. Riky was my idol. Riky was everything I wanted to be. And I never got to share that enough, you know? One of the things I never told him, because I don't know if it's toxic masculinity or working, but I really thought he was such a beautiful man. Am I lying? Riky was so handsome that even as a guy, you would have that thought, but the bro is too much. Not only was his appearance beautiful, but he was a beautiful soul, you know? Ricky was misunderstood and he was criticized a lot. When Ricky was reaching out to every young cat who was getting in the game, people weren't showing him love for that. In fact, they used to say he was taking their hype. It's so crazy that now everyone is cheering Ricky on for the things that he did, but while he was alive, he didn't get that love. But when I look in the crowd and everybody who's been affected, and I see the impact that he had on young people, you would swear that Ricky was 15 years old. But he was a mature guy who always had time for the kids, for every kid. And I just wanted to say thank you to his family for giving us Riky Ricky. Thank you to everybody who showed love to him. Thank you to Bianca for being by his side. I don't think anybody can compare to the love that Bianca gave Riky Ricky. I also want to say to the family that we are with you. Should you need anything, you should hit up every single one of us who is here, because we're all indebted to Riky Ricky. All of us, our successes are indebted to Riky Ricky. One of the reasons, well, they've announced this, but one of the reasons why I don't want to perform today is because Ricky actually had planned to bring me out at Cotton Fest as a surprise act, right? And for this to happen, he hit me up all the time, and I never wanted to talk to him because I was still angry. But me and Ricky spoke so many times because he always used to force me to talk to me. And I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. I would like my brother to rest in peace. And I think it is up to all of us to make sure that his legacy continues. Starting with Cotton Fest, we have to make sure that it happens. And it has to happen annually. This will be the end of my speech.